Anita! Oh, hello, Flora. Please give me back my son's baseball hat. You can't just go and steal someone else's stuff. I thought he had lost it or something, but then I saw your son wearing it yesterday. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? I didn't do anything of the sort. But the one my son was wearing yesterday was a new baseball hat that I had bought for him. You see, my son is a fan of the professional baseball team on his hat. What? Don't you think that's strange? Because the team on that baseball hat is the juvenile baseball team my son is a part of. What do you mean he's a fan? It's not even a professional baseball team in the first place. Are you sure about that? Who knows? Maybe they just use the same hats. It's true that there is a professional baseball team with the same colored hats, but the team logo on the front is completely different. Oh, and I sewed my son's name and uniform number on the hat, which I clearly saw on the one your son was wearing. What? Seriously? Oh, my bad. Maybe it was your son's hat after all. Yes, the one I bought for my son was slightly different now that I remember it. He must have picked it up thinking it was his. It must have been an honest mistake. There's no point in your son having that hat anyways, and if he's not a part of the baseball team, then people will know immediately that it's stolen if they see him wearing it. Besides, the coach at my son's baseball team is Mr. Tor, so if he sees your son wearing that, you know? So if it was an honest mistake, just like you say, then just give it back already. Mr. Tor? That crazy old man I sometimes see at the park? He's not crazy, he's just very strict and direct with people. Mr. Tor lives nearby, so if he sees your son wearing that, he's sure to call the police on you. The police? Are you sure I have to give it back to you? I mean, my son seems to really like it, and your son could always just get a new hat because he's a part of the team, right? No, it's my son's hat, and I'm not just going to let you have it. If you don't want to have the police called on you, then give me back the hat. Fine, I'll put it in your mailbox. Understood. Please bring it now. What? Now? Can't I just give it back to you when I feel like it or something? No. Give it back right now, please. If you don't, I'll tell Mr. Tor and the police. Fine, I get it. I'll bring it right now. Sheesh, you're making such a big deal out of this. It's just a hat, you know. I don't care if it's just a hat. What you're doing is theft, Anita. Don't do anything like this ever again. You're accusing me of being a thief? I told you it was just an honest mistake, and my son must have picked it up thinking it was his because I had bought him one that looked similar. I'm telling you, it was an honest mistake. Yeah, and he never noticed my son's name and uniform number sewed on the hat? I made sure to make it stand out precisely so no one would take it by accident. Next time, I won't be so forgiving and just call the police immediately. Fine, I won't. Just shut up already. You're making such a big deal out of this. Hey, Laura, I saw you entering your house just now. What in the world are you doing? Huh? What am I doing? I went to the supermarket to buy some stuff. You went to the supermarket? I don't think you have the luxury to be doing such things considering the situation. You called me out so many times before, but when you're the one in trouble, you just lie like it's so easy for you. That's what's called a hypocrite, Flora. All I ever do is make honest mistakes, but what you're doing right now is simply despicable. What? I don't know what you're talking about, Anita. Why are you in such a fuss? Your child just got taken away by an ambulance. I don't understand how you can just be so calm. Huh? Are you sure that it was my child? Yes, he was wearing your son's hat. I don't know who called the ambulance, but you noticed it come, right? There were so many people watching as well. I don't get why you can just pretend you don't know what's happening. Your own child got into an accident and was taken to the hospital, but you won't even go visit him since it's too much of a hassle for you. Hold on. I'm telling you, leave your house and go to the hospital right now. By the way, that accident wasn't my fault, all right? Huh? What do you mean it wasn't your fault? First of all, I don't know what you're talking about, and second of all, I never said it was your fault. Anyways, my son is in the house right now, so it can't be him. Huh? Are you sure about that? Yeah, he's practicing baseball in the yard right now. What? He's practicing baseball? But he just got into an accident and was taken to the hospital. How could he have recovered so fast? Are you being serious right now, Anita? I'm not saying that he's already back from the hospital, but that he was never taken to the hospital in the first place. The ambulance you're talking about is the one that drove by our house on the way to the main road, right? Yes, that one. So your son was taken to the hospital after all? No, I'm telling you, he wasn't. Are you even listening to a word I say? Why do I even bother talking to you? At the time the ambulance came, I was at the supermarket across the main road. When I got home, I saw there was a crowd of people gathered at the side of the road. I saw there was an ambulance as well, so I thought something must have happened, but I didn't bother looking and just went inside. Oh, and once I got home, both my son and mother-in-law welcomed me back, which means that my son wasn't the one who was hospitalized, and I don't know what you're talking about. But... Oh, and this is completely unrelated, but we already moved. Huh? Oh, when did you move? You see, my husband was relocated at work, and so we decided to move to where his new office is. We've already bought a new house. But I have work as well, and my son has school, so the three of us, me, my son, and my mother-in-law, are going to be staying here for a bit longer. My father-in-law and my husband have already moved to our new house. We're planning on going there tonight and having dinner. Besides, my son is right in front of me, so what you've been saying all this time is nonsense. You must have mistaken someone else for my son. What? Then who was that taken away by the ambulance? I could have sworn it was your son that got into an accident. Anita, you really shouldn't bother yourself with such things. It's none of our business. We'll just cause trouble if we start a commotion over something we don't have anything to do with. And if we did have something to do with it, we would have gotten a call from the hospital or police or something. If the person who was carried away was our neighbor, then we'll find out soon who it was and what happened, right? Why are you insisting so much that it was my son anyways? Did you get a close look and think it was him or something? Maybe you thought it was my son because it was some kid from nearby that looked like him, but thankfully nothing's happened with us here, so don't worry. Oh, is that so? Oh, it's fine if that's the case, though. I don't care if it has nothing to do with your son. Bye, then. Hello, Anita? I found out who was taken away by the ambulance yesterday. You seemed to be bothered about it a lot, so I'll share the information with you. Who was it? Apparently it was the son of Mr. Tor, the coach at my son's baseball team. What? That was Mr. Tor's son? Yep. I went to today's baseball practice with my son and saw that Mr. Tor's son wasn't there. So I asked him about it, and he told me about yesterday's accident. Apparently a bicycle that was going full speed crashed into him when he turned a corner. Luckily, he wasn't seriously injured, but he hit his head, so he went to the hospital to have it checked up just in case. Oh, is that so? I'm glad nothing serious happened to him. But apparently the person that ran into him fled the scene, and they still don't know who it was. What a sick person. To think that they would crash into an elementary school student and just flee the scene without even thinking to help? But if they had stayed and helped, surely they would have had to face the consequences of crashing into a child. It's only natural that they fled the scene, in my opinion. Is that a crime, do you think? Of course it is. Fleeing the scene is what a coward would do, Anita. An honest person would stay and do whatever they could to make up for his or her mistake. Even though it was just a bicycle, what this person did was clearly illegal. You can't just be going that fast on a sidewalk. It's against road laws. Yeah, you're right, I guess. Besides, if it was an honest mistake, they probably wouldn't have had to go to prison or something like that, right? But I don't know that even city bicycles are subject to road laws. Huh? It's so scary that there are all these laws we don't even know about, don't you think? I'd better watch out myself. Oh, I remembered I have to do something. Bye. Okay. Flora, something terrible has happened. What should I do? What do you think is the best thing to do at times like this, Flora? I need your advice. Why are you panicking so much? The police are at my front door. I'm scared to open it, so I'm pretending that no one's home. What? You can't just pretend to not be there when the police are at your door. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. If you didn't do anything, there's no reason to be scared of the police, so why don't you just open the door and see what they want from you? No, I'm not going to open the door. Why not? Because? Because you did something and that's why you're hiding from the police? Huh? What are you talking about? I didn't do anything to deserve being locked up. Do you suspect me of being a criminal or something? I never said that you did anything that would get you locked up. And if there's nothing suspicious about you, then there's no need to hide from the police, is there? I mean, well, I didn't mean it like that. It's just that... If that's the case, then you should just open the door and talk to them, right? But that's... I can't, all right? It's hard to explain. You panicked at the sight of the police, and so without even thinking, texted me asking for help, even though it will only make things worse. Did I get that right? I think the best thing for you to do right now is to just accept that we all know about what you did now. What are you talking about? You're not making any sense. Hey, Anita, don't you realize that you messed up yesterday during our conversation? Huh? What do you mean I messed up? When I was telling you about the bicycle accident Mr. Tor's son got into, I only said that a bicycle crashed into his son, right? But for some reason, you knew what type of bicycle crashed into him, saying something about how it was so scary that even city bicycles are subject to road laws. Up until then, you seemed to know nothing about the accident, but for some reason you knew the type of bike that crashed into Mr. Tor's son. Seriously? I thought it was strange how you seemed to be so panicked about the accident at first, when you thought it was my son and not Mr. Tor's son that was hospitalized. You suspected me from the start? Well, it's not like all this proves with certainty that you're the one who crashed into Mr. Tor's son and fled the scene. All I did was tell Mr. Tor, the victim's father, about my suspicions. Why did you do that? What, did you think I would just stand by and let you get away with this? Oh, and by the way, it's not certain that it was me that caused the police to come to your house like this. There's a possibility that you were suspected of being the culprit from the start, and that they were already investigating you. Why is that? Why would they suspect me? Do I really look that much like a criminal? That's not what I meant. Apparently a lot of houses around here have security cameras watching the entrance to their house. So they might have already found evidence that you were the culprit before I told Mr. Tor anything. Security cameras? Yes, you only moved here 1 year ago, so maybe you didn't know, but this area was once terrorized by multiple thefts a few years ago. Theft? Yeah. After that, everyone learned a lesson, and they made contracts with security companies and set security cameras and stuff. So you know what that means, right? Hold on. So you're saying that I was caught on a security camera? I don't know for sure, but surely the police around here know how a lot of people have security cameras in this area. And so they probably asked them to cooperate by providing footage. Oh, but it's just a possibility, all right? No way. This can't be happening. Anita, what's wrong? They found out. They know I did it. To think that it was Mr. Tor's son as well. Anita, are you seriously just realizing this now? But I even got rid of the evidence and threw away my city bike. I thought that they wouldn't have anything to tie me to the accident. What? And they still found out? How is that even possible? Besides, it's that baseball hat of theirs that's the problem. He was wearing the same hat as your son's, which is why I thought it was him when I ran into him. But it had to be Mr. Tor's son of all people. I shouldn't have texted you that day. This never would have happened. Anita, do you realize that you're basically telling me that you ran into Mr. Tor's son on purpose because you thought he was my son? What are you trying to do, confessing your crimes to me like this? What do you want me to do about it? You think I'm going to help you or something? Huh? No, it's just that... You were careful enough to get rid of the evidence by throwing away your city bicycle. But for someone that goes that far, you're pretty scatterbrained, Anita. Maybe if you were a bit less stupid, you would have made a better thief. No, that's not what I meant when I said that I didn't mean that I purposefully ran into Mr. Tor's son because I thought he was your son. You're misunderstanding. I'm going to tell the police, okay? No, don't! My punishment is just going to get worse if you tell them. Apparently, the police knew from the start that she was actually home and just pretending to not be there. Anita tried to flee from the back door, but they were already waiting for her there and captured her. Apparently, she was arrested without even undergoing an investigation first. Oh, and the city bicycle that she disposed of was apparently stolen as well. After a bit more investigation, the police found out that she's guilty of several such petty crimes, and so Anita was locked away behind bars. Anita's husband, on the other hand, went to all the families that Anita had caused trouble for and apologized, and after that he divorced Anita and moved, bringing their children with him. Anita's parents fled without saying a word, ashamed at what their daughter had done. So when Anita finally got out of prison, she had nowhere left to go. And since she still had to pay for several alimonies and hospitalization bills and stuff, she was hardly free, even though she just got out of prison.
Hey, Paul, are you there? You're over at your parents' place right now, right? Could you get back over here right away?
Huh? Pardon me?
I think the baby is coming. I should head to the hospital. Could you drive me there right away?
No, can't do it.
Wait, what? Why not?
Would you just stop? I said no, for God's sakes.
Why do you just hang up? I said the baby is coming. I'm having contractions.
Stop bothering me. I'm not going to no hospital.
How could you say that, Paul? Do you realize what this means? If I don't go to the hospital right now, the baby will be in danger.
Just call a darn taxi. You can use your phone still, right?
Call a cab? Are you serious? It's your child that's about to be born. How could you even say that? Why are you being so cold? I can't do this alone. Paul, I need someone by my side.
Damn it, you don't give up, do you? I'm too busy to deal with you right now.
Don't tell me that Kathy is also having contractions. I remember her delivery date was about the same time as mine. I realize you're worried about your younger sister, but I'm in the same situation here, and you're my husband. Why do you ignore me and give priority to your younger sister? She's got her husband to look after her, doesn't she? Get your mom and dad to help out and work something out, would you? You don't all have to be over there. I mean, use common sense, Paul. This is nuts.
I said no way. Call a cab.
Paul, you stole my purse, didn't you?
Huh? What now?
I was getting ready to go to the hospital by cab and checked my bag, and my purse was nowhere to be found.
Oh, yeah. I was on my way to take Kathy to the hospital, and I realized I didn't have any money for a cab.
So you took my money? Are you serious?
Now, how the heck am I supposed to get to the hospital? Get this through your thick skull, Trish. I'm not going to the hospital for you. I made up my mind a long time ago that if Kathy's baby came the same time as yours, I would give her priority over you.
You cannot be serious.
What's wrong with giving your family members priority over a stranger? You had the gall to have your baby at the same time as her. You have no right to be griping on and on about this, so give it up.
Paul, I think I'm going into labor. The water.
Come on, Trish. Forget the cab. Just have the baby in the bathtub or something. Figure it out yourself. And Trish, don't make a mess.
Paul, Trish here. It was a boy. My neighbor, Carol, helped me out and took me to the hospital. I don't know what I would have done without her.
You have got to be kidding me. You had to impose on your neighbor?
I had no other choice. I had no money for a cab. I could hardly walk, for God's sake. Carol has kids, so she knows exactly how I felt and knew exactly what to do. Without her help, I don't know what would have happened. Once I'm back from the hospital, and if you have time, please thank her.
I can't believe you. We need to be on good terms with our neighbors. Don't go giving our neighbors a hard time, would you?
Hey, Paul, when are you coming to the hospital? I mean, you could at least pay one visit. I know you're all worried about your sister, but you're a father now. Don't you even want to see your son? As a father, that's the least you can do.
Sorry, but I just can't do that right now. Kathy wants me by her side. I just can't leave her. After giving birth, she's really drained of strength, not to mention her emotional state. No, I'm gonna stick by her side until it gets better.
By the way, where the hell is Kathy's husband? Shouldn't he be there?
Pardon me?
I know she's there at your parents' place, but she lives just down the street. Shouldn't her husband be there by now? Shouldn't he be the one by her side?
Oh yeah, didn't I tell you? Guess not. She got divorced about a month ago.
Wait, what? She got divorced?
It seems that jerk was impotent, which meant that the kid wasn't his.
Am I hearing you right? That's crazy!
Well, it is what it is. So letting her have a kid all alone with nobody to rely on, it just seemed cruel, you know? As her big brother, I made up my mind to comfort her any way I could.
Hold on a second. I heard that Kathy was in the VIP room at this very hospital. Is that true?
Yeah, that's right. Don't go complaining that you had to stay in one of those rooms with several other patients. I'm not in the mood to hear that.
Relative to what you were saying, I sort of think that Kathy's husband would be demanding compensation for, it seems obvious. She's not exactly well off with that hanging over her head. How could she afford to stay in a VIP room?
Yeah, well, I paid for all that.
You cannot be serious, Paul. We can't afford to pay the hospital fee for 2 women. Are you nuts?
So you saying I should just dump on Kathy, huh? My little sister?
No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I wish you would have talked to me before making such a decision. Just think of our financial situation. There's no way we could afford to put her up in a VIP room.
Quit yapping on about what's already been done. What's the use? You keep this crap up, Trish. I may even think about divorcing. You don't want that, do you?
Pardon me?
You're the one that's going to pay the price if that happens. You have no parents or siblings to fall back on.
That's a low blow, Paul. Even for you.
Anyway, why'd you even have to get pregnant? Just my little sister was plenty. We don't need any more kids in this world. This whole mess is all your fault. Why'd you have to go and get pregnant?
What you just said, I hope you don't regret it.
All the wife has to do is obey her husband. Can't you at least do that? Kathy just woke up. Let's cut this short, shall we? See ya.
Hey Trish, how are you? Congratulations. Thanks for giving us a grandson.
Dad, wow, it's been so long. How have you been? Yeah, not bad.
Sorry to contact you out of the blue like this. I got your line ID from your friend Carol, your neighbor. Nice girl, by the way.
Yeah, she's great. She told me all about it. She's the one that got in contact with you, right?
Yes, that's right. It was by pure chance that I was told about your situation.
Chance?
You talked to Carol about me before, right?
Come to think of it, I did mention you when we were talking about family. You know, with the baby coming and all.
Well, she remembered my name and it apparently rang a bell, so she checked me out. And it turned out that I was the president of the company she was working for. She couldn't believe it at first, but she verified the family ties and got in contact with me through the company intranet system.
Whoa, wait, back up. You're the president of a company now?
Yes, but This only happened about 2 weeks ago. I'm really sorry I didn't contact you for so long. As you know, Mom and I divorced some time back. Fortunately, it was amicable. The main reason we got supported was basically because we were both workaholics, lol. After the divorce, I went overseas on business for almost 3 months, and we sort of lost touch. I didn't know she passed away until Carol told me about it. I felt terrible.
I see. I had no idea.
I really wish I was here. Maybe I should have stayed married to her, just separated.
You don't have to feel guilt over that. Mom knew how busy you were, and how much your work meant to you. Knowing Mom, that's probably why she didn't contact you. She's always sent me financial support through the years and insisted that I give you enough breathing space, so you can work to your heart's desire.
That's heartening to hear. Thanks for that, Trish. By the way, your husband, Paul, was it?
Huh? Yeah, that's right.
What do you plan on doing going forward?
Do? What do you mean?
I heard the whole situation from Carol, so you don't need to hold anything back. Tell me how you honestly feel.
Right. I suppose I'm leaning toward divorce. He gives his younger sister priority over me and the verbal abuse that I get. To be honest, I worry about our future together. Fortunately, I plan to return to work once I'm back on my feet. My company is pretty understanding when it comes to maternity leave. When I think about that, divorce seems the better option.
Okay, I understand. Then why don't we do this? Give me a bit of time to verify a few things.
Verify a few things? Like what?
When do you get released from the hospital?
Well, if all goes well, I should be out of here by next Wednesday.
Alright then, I'll contact you by then and we can work things out. Be patient, okay?
Not sure what you're up to, Dad, but yeah, okay.
Hey, Trish, are you there? Is that true about your dad? Is this some kind of joke? You never told me he was the president of that major corporation. Why didn't you mention this before we got married? How could you leave out such an important piece of information? Are you totally daft, Trish?
He contacted me just last week. It was the first time I heard he was the president of that company. I had no idea. He was working overseas for the past 3 months and just returned last week and was promoted to president on his return.
If your father is the president of that major corporation, well, that means you're the daughter of a big shot. You're like a VIP or whatever.
Yeah, well, this only happened 2 weeks ago, so I was never a VIP or socialite or whatever.
But you are the daughter of a company president. That's a fact. What the hell is going on here? If I had known this earlier, I would have... This is not happening.
Hey, Paul, are you upset about something? You're acting real weird.
Yeah, I'm upset. How can I not be? Your father is a big investor in our company, and I mean one of the biggest.
Really, I didn't have a clue.
And his company is one of our top clients. One move, and he has the power to even bankrupt us.
Seriously, this is the first I'm hearing about this. You never mentioned your work stuff to me, so how would I know, right?
Apparently, your father contacted the president of my firm and wanted him to check out his employees. He eventually heard there was some sort of shenanigans going on. They found out that me and Kathy's work performance was, not up to par.
I'm just assuming here, but I bet you guys were forcing others to do your job and taking time off when you weren't permitted to.
Huh? Hold it a sec. Why do you know that?
Again, I'm just assuming, but considering your attitude toward everything, and this goes for your sister too, it just seemed like the logical thing you guys would do.
You sound like you're enjoying this. Like it's just some casual conversation or something. You realize that both Kathy and I have been transferred? And get this, We're not being transferred to the same location either.
Roger that. Don't go screwing up this time, Paul.
Roger, what? The hell do you think you are anyways? It was all your fault that we ended up in this predicament. What are you going to do about it? I went to your father's office and had a meeting with him. I got down on my hands and knees begging him to reconsider, but your father just ignored me. This whole thing wouldn't have happened if you had just told me about your father and not kept it a secret. How could you be so devious? If you'd only warned us, we'd have been able to be more careful at work.
Like I said, I haven't seen my dad in a while, and I only learned of this like 2 weeks ago. How am I supposed to tell you when I didn't even know? And for your information, I had no connection to your job. You never told me anything about where you and Kathy worked or what you did. Yeah, so maybe it was my father who checked up on your work performance. But it was you guys who abused your position. To me, it looks like you guys are the only ones that are ultimately responsible. Don't blame all this on me. And another thing, I plan to divorce you once and for all.
What? Wait, divorce?
My father introduced me to a lawyer, so he'll probably be paying you a visit sometime soon. So I would appreciate it if you would sign it.
Trish, come on. You don't want to do this.
In addition, I plan to demand compensation for emotional distress that you caused all these years, especially when our baby was born. Any court will rule in my favor. Oh, and I will be demanding the proper child support for our son. We mustn't forget that.
No, you can't do this. I have a lot on my plate now. I have to pay for Kathy's stuff, and getting pushed out and transferred to some branch office somewhere means a reduction in pay. Taking money from me now? Your timing is impeccable, Trish.
Take money, huh? Isn't that what you did to me? When I went into labor, you stole my purse. Didn't you take money from me then? You left me there to suffer in pain because I had no money for a cab. If Carol hadn't been there to help, I could have died.
I need the money to take Kathy to the hospital. What can I say?
That's your problem, Paul. That behavior, that thought process, whatever you want to call it, that's what's screwed about you.
But the fact remains that I don't have any money.
Looks like this is going to go on into an endless loop, so let's cut it short.
But...
Oh yeah, one more thing. You and Kathy probably didn't realize this, but your mom and dad are both on my side with this.
Pardon me?
When Kathy went into labor, your folks went straight to the hospital with her, as any parent would. They only found out that I was all alone at the hospital was when they got home that night. They were furious for the way you acted towards your wife. They apologized profusely. Your mom was on the verge of tears. I ended up comforting her. They were overjoyed that I had reunited with my father and agreed to the divorce without complaint.
Are you really serious?
From now on, I want you to go through my lawyer. Anything you need, just contact them. Please don't contact me directly anymore. You got that, Paul?
Trish, you can't do this.
Goodbye. My son and I moved into my father's spacious condo downtown. On the day I was to be released from the hospital, my in-laws helped me escape without Paul or Kathy getting wind of it. They also helped in convincing Paul into agreeing to a one-time payment for damages and for child support. In return, I promised them that I would allow them to visit their grandson on occasion. I made sure I no longer had any contact with either Paul or his sister Kathy. I later heard that Kathy resigned from the company due to where she was being transferred to, and that she wanted to be with her brother. She blamed Paul for their downfall and insisted that her big brother take care of her as she stayed home with her child. That brother and sister relationship is a bit too bizarre for me. I heard the three of them went living at Paul's apartment somewhere up north. Most of the neighbors think that they are a family. I find it hard to believe that they even have any friends.